Did Hudson grab Andy? But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life with Chester for Tyler Perry Sister Season 8, Episode 21. Okay, y'all, so first things first, let me know your thoughts on tonight's episode down below. I said, okay, now, what did Hayden say? I said, they don't sit up here and confuse me even more. So did Hayden say that before he left the house, he grabbed a kitchen knife or whatever, and he was going to do it, but he didn't go through with it, and he dropped the knife or something like that? But what did he say he did after that? Oh, no. Look, I was like, so, okay, he didn't do it. So that means Hudson did it, right? I don't know. Okay, y'all. So the first thing that happened was the whole Danny situation. Instead of $150,000, she got $75,000 for her pain and suffering. I said, pain and suffering? She the one who knocked the doggone. I said, she's the one who knocked the doggone coffee on the man. Then not Rich. I keep getting these folks mixed up. What's his name? Tony. So she almost y'all both could have got fired based on the whole situation. You decide to propose to her. What the freak going on around here? What they said, what's wrong with us? I was suing the airline and you proposed. I said, exactly, what's wrong with both of y'all? But I don't know. Do this mean they engaged? She didn't accept? I don't think they went back to their scene after that, did they? But yeah, so on tonight's episode, they end up offering to lift Danny's suspension. And Andy was like, no, we want $150,000. And the look on Danny's face, she was shocked. And they was like, she's the one who, like I said, knocked the coffee or whatever drink that was on the man. And then Danny checked with Andy. She was like, do you trust me? And she was like, yeah. So she ends up asking for the $150,000 for her pain and suffering. So the lady, what did she say at first? I don't know. She started out with 60,000 or 50,000 or what, but then they kept going up. And Andy ended up getting her $75,000. I said, really? I said, it's only been a month, and the fact that she still ended up getting her job back as well. They lifted the suspension so she could go back to work. She got $75,000 and everything, and apparently she still got Tony too. So I said, what was all this for? What was all this for? But they ended up shaking hands. Everybody left except Danny and Tony, and they were saying, do y'all think that's a good idea? And they was like, yeah, they both decided to stay. I said, see. And then I hate that Tony ends up apologizing to her, but she didn't apologize for what she got going on either, and made it seem like it was all his fault. There's still no accountability. And like I said, instead of them deciding, okay, we need to part ways, obviously, he decides to propose. I was like, what part of that led you to believe that you should propose? Oh my goodness. She was still mad at him for coming in. Somebody said, you still not listening to me or whatever. And it's something else she told him. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the same thing she told Preston. And I was like, okay, at some point you got to sit up here and accept accountability or responsibility or whatever. Also, was it last week's episode? I want to say it was last week's episode. Who said that Danny is no longer in therapy? Did they ever say that? I don't know if I read a comment or what. But I thought she was still going to therapy. I don't know. But yeah, Tony asked Danny how they got there, and he ends up apologizing. And I was like, what the freak? And he wants to know where they go from there. He's still trying to say the doggone relationship. Even when he came to her house, he trying to say the relationship. And she's still over here like, oh no, and all this stuff. Self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging. I don't even know if it'll be called self-sabotaging at this point. Pam and Karen. So Pam ends up telling Karen how Maurice uses their hair product, and basically she wanted to spread the word and everything. And at first Karen was against it, but by the end of the episode, she definitely ends up going along with it and basically trying to get everybody on board with helping to push the product. I just hope this don't backfire, because if Miss Marie over here trying to do illegal stuff and transfer all this doggone money and all this other stuff, I think somebody asked the question if they thought that Miss Marie was laundering money, because I don't know if it was because she said, what was it, $500,000 she was putting in the offshore account, and usually when people do that, they're doing illegal activity. So we'll see. But yeah, so Karen ends up coming up with the idea that they sell it from their house. I don't know if she meant the salon or what, but like basically having a little party or whatever. Zach and Fatima. So Zach ends up bringing Fatima food, and she was basically telling him he can't do that. He has to go because she's trying to be an asset, not a liability, and him showing up there is no longer acceptable. And he was like, ain't Andy the boss or whatever? And she was like, yeah. But once again, she wants to be an asset, not a liability. Then, was that the scene where Robin walked up, or that was later? Did he ever leave? I think he was still there. But they ended up talking about Karen and, her and Pam and their investment. And he was wondering if he should invest in the company as well. Maurice ends up calling Sabrina, asking about her and the money, and she says nothing happened because she may be in a relationship with Rich still. And look like on next week's episode, he gonna be back there talking to her. And I said, I'm assuming he apologizing as well. I said, I'm assuming he apologizing as well. Cause they making it seem like men feelings is invalid or something. And that's exactly why they be out here doing what they doing in the first place. Well, some of them anyways. I was like, I think everybody should have took accountability for their actions. Duh. But yeah, Calvin done came back and stuff. Was this the part? Yeah, Zach thinks he should invest. Maurice asked Sabrina about her and the money, and that's when Calvin showed up. He was at the door, and he was saying how he wants to talk about everything that happened between them. Jordan and Rich. By the way, Jordan is talking. They need to hurry up, get to him. I said they need to hurry up, get to him. They need to go on the arrest Hudson over here if he the one responsible. But look like he got a weapon up on Gary on next week's episode. I gotta look at the trailer and write down my notes, y'all. But look like he got a weapon on him and he's telling him something that all depends on him. And they looking for Andy, so I'm assuming he don't grab her. If not, somebody else don't grab her. But yeah, let's see. Jordan and Rich. So Jordan ends up telling Rich he don't know how much he could take and basically asking him, well, first of all, he ends up telling him that he's not the one that stabbed Gary and how he shouldn't have went there and everything. And he's still blaming Andy, somebody he wish he had never, met him and Andy for that matter either. And I was like, okay, now I understand because Gary came after him because of his connection with Andy. But at the same time, I repeat, you didn't even know they was involved until after the fact. You had already met him. Penelope technically introduced Gary to you. Technically, that's what it looked like. But yeah, they still blaming her. But he makes Rich promise to take care of Penelope if anything happens to him. And the way, like I said, the way he talking, they need to hurry up, arrest Hudson or whoever responsible. Because I don't like this. They'll sit up here, say, hating the one who had the doggone knife. So he could have been blamed. He definitely could have if they found out that was his doggone knife. But yeah, so now it was his knife. It was his doggone knife. He said he dropped it. So I'm assuming it actually was Hudson. But at this point, I don't know. I'm guessing they gonna do the big flashback or reveal on next week's episode. Ain't that the season finale? Yeah, I think that is season finale. Dog, what we gonna watch now, y'all? I guess just the over. Well, I think House of Pain returns sometime this month. Also assisted living, but I haven't really gotten into assisted living yet. But yeah, Robin and Andy were talking and starting to get close, and I think she's about to get ready to tell him how she feels. And in walks Penelope. Here she come. I said she was doing it on purpose, over here rubbing on him and hugging him and stuff like that. Now, at first, when she started doing all that, when she first walked in, I don't know, she grabbed his hand or she touched his shoulder. She did something. And I was like, wait a minute now. And she was asking for his help with Jordan. I was like, tell me that when they left here that day, they ain't gonna do nothing. Because she only doing that and going after him because of Andy. They both, Penelope and her brother Jordan, need to go. They need to go at this point. They keep blaming her and stuff like that. So I was like, please tell me this man sit up here and went did nothing with her. But yeah, she ends up asking for Robert's help with Jordan or whatever. And then she ends up using her baby's death. Somebody said, I already lost my baby to Gary. I can't lose my brother too. I was like, girl, let me find out she the one who did it. Remember when Gary said that it was a woman? I told you they trying to trick us up, y'all. I don't know at this point. We'll see. But yeah, I said she knows what she doing because she started rubbing on him and hugging him tight, and Andy over here looking and stuff. Tony and Danny. So, okay, well, she laying on the couch with the doggone bear. So he stops by and she was saying how he's still not listening and giving her the space she asked for and everything. He was talking about how he don't want to lose her and the way he was acting. I said, I know doggone well he ain't about to propose. What? I was like, I know doggone well he ain't about to propose. They got a lot to work. It's the same how I felt about the, what's their name? Fatima and Zach. Even though, that's the couple I've been rooting for, like, I didn't feel like they should get married. They ain't married yet, but they supposed to be headed that way. I didn't feel like they should have got married either after everything that happened. At least not fast or whatever. But yeah, I said, I know where this about to go. So he gets down on one knee or whatever, and I'm waiting on her to give an answer. But she basically said the same thing. She needs space. She don't know or whatever. And they both, she said, I tried to sue the airline. You over here proposing. And I said the same. I said, what the freak? I said, look, I said, he tried to propose. He was telling her how he don't want to lose her. No, because she ain't took accountability yet. At what point, people got to understand, the longer you enable people or make it seem like what they doing is okay, they never gonna change. And that's not to solely put the responsibility on you, but how are they supposed to think that what they doing is okay? Or how do I word this? They gonna forever think that what they doing is okay if people steady around them telling them that what they doing is okay. We don't normalize too much stupid stuff. Sit up here proposing that both y'all could have lost y'all job. because she was just suspended. I was like, okay, this right in here, this right in here. And also, I think when he first came in, she was asking what he doing here because he's supposed to be at work. And he was like, some things are more important than work or whatever. And she basically was suggesting that she said that's what she wanted him to do, to choose her. And I said, but so every time you do something wrong, you expect, ain't that the same thing as helping? Like, didn't you have a problem with him enrolling you in the program? But now you want him to sit up here and use his position to get you out of trouble that you sit up here and walked into because this man set a doggone trap. He knew what he was doing. I said, it's the same thing, ain't it? Using his position, it's the same thing. Whether good, bad, he used his position to help you in one case or another. So what you talking about? I guess it's because she will be asking for his help. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. But yeah, Aaron ends up stopping by the salon to check on Karen. Wait, did they go back to that scene afterwards? I don't know. They show so many doggone commercials. Also, I was going to ask y'all if y'all audio, like, it'll turn up the music that was playing, it'll turn up real loud. Then it go down. Did it go back up loud? I don't know. Maybe that's just because I'm on the website or the app or whatever. But yeah, he ends up checking on her. Fatima ends up telling Zach that maybe investing with Karen and Pam now isn't a good idea because Aaron is also, what is he, a silent partner or something like that? Andy and Penelope. So Andy ends up stopping Penelope to ask about Jordan, and she basically told her to mind her business. I wrote down Andy chased on Jordan, but Penelope still being Penelope. I said, okay. I said, I know, like, for a second I thought she was gonna repay her, but I said she at work, so she ain't gonna do that. Y'all know Andy, she ain't gonna do nothing. I said, go in the parking lot. Y'all done had plenty of situations out there. Apparently the cameras don't work. Hayden done got beat up. You don't got jumped, all this stuff. Take her outside. This man following you and stuff. No doggone. Nobody got no cameras. Nobody got no security guards on these doggone shows. But yeah, I said take her outside. Go on. You and Fatima could handle her, cause she, how you, her and her brother. But yeah, they showed Hayden and Gary back in Gary's office. And he was just saying how it's no way that he gave Hudson the power of attorney willingly or whatever. Look, Hudson be over here. He's like, boss this and boss that. I knew he was crooked. I said it. I said he was crooked. Now, it hasn't been officially verified that he's the one that stabbed him. They saving that for the doggone season finale, like that make doggone sense. Oh, whoever said that about they was gonna wait all season, that this whole season was gonna be about who stabbed Gary, y'all was right. I can't remember who said it, but yeah, y'all was right. Oh, doggone season, we playing the doggone guess game. Then they make it seem like it's this person. No, it's not that person. Then they make it seem like it's that person. I'm gonna ask y'all next week what y'all rate this whole season too. But yeah, let's see where I left off. Danny thinks that they should quit while they're ahead, and he over here still asking her for one more chance and begging her or whatever. And I was like, okay, she's talking about some, let me see the ring one more time. But I don't think they went back to they scene, so I don't know if she's gonna end up accepting or not. Karen ends up assigning everybody a job, her mama, Pam, Aaron, and everything. I think that's all that happened with them. Sabrina and Calvin talk. He ends up thanking her for treating him like a human being, like a person. Ends up asking about her and Rich. Did they look? They don't skip I don't know if it was just it went out or what. I don't think it went out this time. Well, I was like, wait a minute. They didn't go back to that either, did they? Maybe next week they're gonna show that again. Yeah, maybe next week. But I know they did show her talking to Rich on next week's episode. But yeah, I was like, look, I missed a lot of stuff. But yeah, Andy ends up asking Robert what Penelope wanted. So Andy tried, and she reveals that she tried to help Jordan. I was like, well, okay, just leave him there. He ends up rejecting her. She said she offered to see him. He said no. She offered to send some of her colleagues who criminal attorneys. He said no. And I was like, okay, at this point, just leave him be. Because But I said they better get to him before he gets to himself. Robin and Andy. Look, I didn't even get that many notes. I still ended up with a longer video. But Robin and Andy was talking. He went in the office with her. He ends up telling her, Andy ends up asking Robert what Penelope wanted, and he reveals that, she wanted help with Jordan, and she reveals that she was trying to help him, but he rejected her. Then he ends up telling her that he finna get ready to leave. He said he want her, and I know you want me to. They over here kids. Look, I told you these folks be doing stuff. They ain't got no business. Talking about, so it don't matter and all this other stuff. But yeah, they end up kissing. He revealed that he willing to stay. All she got to do is stop him and let him know before he leaves. It looked like he going to be calling her. I was like, well, you gone, buddy. If somebody don't grab her, because everybody, I think Zach was the one running looking for her on that trailer. I was like, well, he finna get ready to leave then. Unless Fatima or somebody going to let him know that she's missing. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, he revealed that he trying to be a judge now. And he said if he ends up staying, then that's what he'll do. Fatima ends up revealing to Zach that she's worried about Andy because she know that Penelope was there. Robin ends up walking up, and Zach, what Zach told him basically to stop giving his wife a hard time. But after Zach left, that's when Robin ends up thanking Fatima for having Andy's back and everything. Hudson ends up telling Gary that he'll regret firing him, and he kicks him out. He kicks him out anyways, and he's supposed to come back with a doggone weapon. He's supposed to come back with a doggone weapon, and somebody came up behind Andy, and that's why I said, did Hudson grab her? But after he left, that's when Gary got to talking to Hayden, and that's the part that I was like, okay, like what the freak. um Gary ends up revealing to Hayden that he's gonna make everybody's life a living hell or whatever, and he said something about he want his life back. He want everything that was taken from him. Why people be saying the only thing was taken from, it wasn't nothing taken from you except a month of your life because you was in the hospital. But other than that, what the freak you talking about? Talking about, so he gonna make everybody's life a living hell. That's why you got stabbed to begin with. What the freak? That's why you got stabbed to begin with. Then when they was talking, I was like, okay, did he really lose his memories? Because he acted too much like the same person. I said, he definitely, I don't know, y'all. But yeah, he to my son, he gonna make everybody's life a living hell, as if he ain't been doing that since season 1. Since season 1. What are you talking about? And when they showed the trailer, I thought he was about to say, including Andy, like he about to make her life a living hell. But he's saying he want everything. He said he want everything back that he lost, including Andy. I said, dude, give it a rest. Golly. You been after this woman since season 1. You had her for a long time. But now she trying to give it Robin, and here come everybody. But at the end of the episode, I think Gary was thanking Hayden and saying he couldn't have did something without him or something like that. And he started confronting him. He started confronting Gary about sleeping with Tamara and all this other stuff. I think he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, oh, you don't remember? So he like shoved them, or he hit the spot where he was stabbed at. And I was like, so he did do it. Look, they trying to trick us. They over here trying to trick us all doggone season long. Just for one episode to be left allegedly. I don't know. I think for sure. I think it is 22 episodes, y'all. And I was like, so you was the one. But then they got to talking, and he said something about he remember. I think Gary said he remember. But he was like, he grabbed his kitchen knife and he was going to do it. But he ended up dropping the knife. And he said something about he took something so that he had nothing to hold over him. And the only reason he took his case or helped him with the power of attorney. Did he say the only reason why he helped them is so he wouldn't use it against him or something like that? I don't know. But then he ends up telling Gary that they're even. Then he tried to shake his hand and tell my son, so we really are friends. Oh, psychopath is psychopath junior. What the freak? then everybody withholding information. Everybody withholding information. But yeah, look like Zach running to try to help Andy on next week's episode. He looking for her or something like that. So I'm assuming Fatima couldn't because, she pregnant, but they ain't never stopped her before. They ain't never stopped her before. But yeah, I think that's everything, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day. A great rest. I always mess that part up. Have a great rest of the night and be safe.